there. Thank you for joining us for chair yoga this morning. It's lovely to see all of you. Before we get started, we're going to talk about a few things that you should bring to class and things that might help make you more comfortable or even improve the intensity of your practice if you're looking for that. The first thing we're going to talk about is water. Let's make sure that we bring some water to our practice. Our body is 60% water, and drinking water is often overlooked as a necessity of staying healthy. The function of water in our body is to assist in digestion, absorption, creation of saliva, transportation of nutrients throughout the body, and it also helps regulate the body temperature. So it's very important that we drink enough water so that our body can continue to function the way it should. And during class, I would recommend not taking big gulps, but just little sips. Taking big gulps can help you, can make you feel heavy, weighted down, and even produce acid reflux in some of us. Another thing that you're going to need for chair yoga is a chair. And a straight back chair is preferred, but we use what we have. If your chair is cushioned, that can also be helpful. If it isn't cushioned and you're feeling a little uncomfortable, maybe place a blanket or a towel on the chair. And the chair that you have, you want to make sure that your knees are at a 90-degree bend. And I'm going to turn the chair sideways so you can see what that means. We want our hips fairly level with the knees. So we don't want to sit on a chair that's going to be higher. So I'm turning the chair sideways. And we're going to kind of see, now my blanket has raised me up just a little bit here, but we're not bad. So we want to make sure that the knees are fairly level with the hips. I'm going to remove that blanket, that's a little bit better. Excellent. So there's a straight line from the knees to the hips. All right. Another thing that you can incorporate into your practice when you're ready are light weights. I usually recommend a lighter set of weights and a heavier set of weights. The lighter weights are for arm work and upper body work, and the heavier weights, are for lower body work. The muscles in our legs are larger and can handle a bit more weight, so you can use heavier weights for your legs. However, if this is your first time doing chair yoga or any type of practice, I would recommend not using weights at all right now. Just get used to the practice, understand the cues, kind of get familiar with what you're doing, and then you can add weights later on. Now these are simply 2 and 3 pound weights, just to give a little resistance. And resistance is very important in building up bone density, as well as strengthening the muscles and toning the muscles. So with that, we will start out by just taking a few moments to settle into our practice. We're going to take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Go ahead and close your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. We want to relax the shoulders. Sometimes our tension, we hold it in our shoulders and we pull them up around our ears. Let's go ahead and bring them up to the ears to begin with anyways, and then release down. Just relax. Alleviate some of that tension that you're carrying. Let go of some of those worries and burdens. Set your to-do list outside the door. Let's take a nice deep inhale through the nose, expanding the belly as far as it can go. And exhale, release. Inhale deeply. Expand that belly. And exhale, release. Allow the belly to come to rest softly. Connecting the breath with the movement, focusing on our breath, helps release stress. Excellent. Just take a few moments to focus on your body. Feel your feet in contact with the floor. Feel the chair supporting your body. Notice if you're holding any areas of tightness, meaning, do you feel tension or pain anywhere in your body? If so, simply acknowledge the pain. Maybe you need to adjust how you're sitting a little bit. Beautiful. Gently open your eyes. Now, one thing we also need to talk about is footwear. During yoga practice, you may or may choose not to wear shoes during your practice. If you are not wearing shoes, I would recommend that you have a yoga mat, simply because if you're on a wood floor or a laminate floor or any type of slippery floor, you might slide around. Otherwise, if you're on a slippery floor, wear your sneakers if you don't have a yoga mat. Also, people with diabetes, it's a good idea if you keep your shoes on during practice. All right. So from here, let's slide forward on our chair. And we should just sit up tall, focusing on the breath. We're going to take a nice deep inhale, circle sweep the arms overhead. Exhale the arms down to the sides. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Palms come together. Beautiful. And then placing the left hand on the right knee, sweep the right arm behind us, holding on the back of the chair. Exhale, rotate the torso, looking over the shoulder behind us. Getting a nice spinal twist, relax the shoulders, keep them down away from the ears. Beautiful. Inhale, come back to center. And then placing right hand on the left knee, rotate the torso. Beautiful. Look over the shoulder behind you. Beautiful. Inhale back to center. Draw hands to heart center. Gently bow, lengthening through the cervical spine. Beautiful. Excellent. Release the hands down to the lap. At this point, we're going to allow the arms to hang down to the sides. We're going to bring the shoulders up around the ears, forward, back, down, and around. Bring the shoulders up, forward, down, and around. Up, forward, down, and around. Excellent. Beautiful. Come to center. And then reverse. Bring the shoulders up, back. Really squeeze the shoulder blades together. Open the chest, down and around. Up, back, down, and around. Up, back, down, and around. Beautiful. Excellent. Beautiful. Another thing that can help you with your yoga practice and often helps set the mood is to find some yoga music or some gentle music, soothing spa music. If you subscribe to one of those music downloading sites, you can certainly find yoga music or spa music or easy listening instrumental type yoga music, and it really just helps add to your practice. All right, so from here we are going to take a nice deep inhale, sweep up with the right arm, lean over to the left, getting a nice stretch along the side waist. Inhale back to center, switch, leaning in the opposite direction, and look up at the crease in the elbow or up at the hand above you. Beautiful. Leaning over in the opposite direction. Nice job. Inhale back to center. Bring the right hand down, lean over to the left. Beautiful. Inhale back to center. Good work. All right. So at this point, we are going to pick up our weights if we're using them today. And to do so, we want to take a nice step out to the side. And then we're going to place the opposite hand on the thigh. And then we'll reach down and pick up our weights. Excellent. Come back to center. And then we're going to switch sides and pick up the other weight. Excellent. And come back to center. All right. Allow those arms to hang down to the sides. Let's rotate the palms out. Inhale up. Rotate out. Exhale down. Rotate out. Inhale up. Rotate out. Exhale down. Rotate out. Inhale up. Rotate out. Exhale down. One more time. Rotate out. Inhale up. Rotate out. Exhale down. Beautiful. Let's draw hands to heart center. Bend those elbows. And we're going to practice something called Y's, I's, and T's. Nice deep inhale. Let's reach up. Letter Y. Draw hands to heart center. Rotate up. Up. Exhale out. Letter T. Draw hands to heart center. Inhale up. Keep those weights together. Letter I. Draw hands to heart center. Rotate up. Exhale out. Letter T. Beautiful. Draw hands to heart center. Inhale up. Letter I. Draw hands to heart center. Rotate up. Exhale out. Letter T. Keep those shoulders, those arms level. Beautiful. Draw hands to heart center. Good work. All right. So at this point, you may transfer to heavier weights if you have heavier weights. So let's go ahead and do that by stepping out to the side, putting down one set of weights. If your water bottle's right there, let's grab a quick sip of water. Good job. All right, and we're going to pick up our heavier weights. And switch to the other side, picking up our heavier weights. Excellent. All right, so from here, we have the weights resting on top of our thigh, just above the knee. The closer the weights are to the knee, you're going to feel a little more resistance in your ankles. We're going to work on calf raises, building up those muscles in the calves and ankle throughout the ankles can help improve our balance, which is very important. To do calf raises, we're going to sit up tall, draw the shoulders back and down. Inhale up, come up to your tiptoes. And then gently lower the feet back down. I'm going to move back just a little bit. There we go. Inhale up, up on those tiptoes. And gently lower down. Inhale up and gently lower down. One more time. Inhale up and gently lower down. Remember, throughout your practice to honor your body, be careful with yourself, be gentle with yourself. We want to make sure we honor the body we bring to practice with us each day. Some days are a little bit harder than others, so if the weights aren't working for you today, set them down. That's perfectly fine. And it's okay if you use a lighter weight on one side than the other. Maybe you have a shoulder injury on one side, and using a heavier weight or any weight at all just isn't good for you. So feel free to do what works best for you. All right. At this point, we're going to extend the left foot out, and we're just simply going to point and flex. I'll turn sideways so you can see a little better. Point, flex, point, flex. Sit up tall, point, flex, point, flex, point, and flex. Rest that foot on the floor. Extend the right leg out, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, and flex. Rest that foot on the floor. Extend the left leg out again. We're going to point the toes, and we're going to rotate the foot first in one direction, activating the synovial fluids in that ankle. Good job. And then reverse directions. Excellent. Place that foot back on the floor. Extend the right foot out, point the toes, rotate the foot in one direction. Remember to sit up tall, draw the shoulders down away from the ears, and then reverse directions. Excellent. Rest that foot on the floor. Good work. All right. So at this point, we are going to set our weights back on the floor. Excellent. And we're going to do some hip opening stretches. To do so, we want to bring our knees out wide. The toes are pointed forward, the feet are pointed forward, and we're sitting up tall. We're going to take a nice deep inhale, and we're going to hinge forward, resting the elbows on the thigh. And we want to press through with the chest. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what that means. Pressing through with the chest means that we're hinged forward at the hips, and the chest is coming forward rather than allowing ourselves to collapse in the shoulders and the shoulders round. We're trying to improve our posture here, so let's draw the shoulders down, press the chest through. Excellent. From here, if you have high blood pressure or glaucoma, please stay right where you are. If you do not, you may progress on to the next level by placing one hand at a time on top of each foot. The reason we tell some participants with high blood pressure or glaucoma to stay up on the elbows is that hinging forward can elevate the blood pressure and make one feel dizzy. So if either of those is not a concern for you, you may hinge forward, placing the hands on the feet. Excellent. If it is in your practice, you may bring your hands one at a time down to the floor or the mat. This time allow the head and shoulders to round. Getting a nice deep stretch in the inner thighs, opening up the hips. This is called spider pose. Resting the elbows on the inside of the shins, pressing the knees open slightly. Looking under the chair behind you. Take a nice deep breath through your nose. And exhale through the nose. Beautiful. Then placing one hand at a time on top of each foot. Coming up slowly. And one elbow at a time on top of each knee. Just allowing your body to adjust to the change in blood flow. Again, press the chest through, lift your gaze just a bit. Looking maybe 3 feet in front of you at the floor. Excellent. And then we're going to roll up, bringing the feet and knees together. Excellent. Turning forward. At least I will turn forward. Good job. All right. Another hip opening stretch. Now this pose is a bit of a challenging one, but what we're going to do is start out with a very basic level, the beginner level of this pose. And we're simply just going to cross the ankles, and we're sitting on the very edge of our chair and just allowing the knees to fall open. We're working on opening up those hip flexors, sitting up tall. Excellent. Beautiful. And you may hold this for a few moments, okay? And what we're going to do is I'm going to progress on to the next level for those of us who have a little bit more mobility in our hips. All right, so for the rest of us, we can place our right ankle on top of our left knee. And we're working at trying to keep this shin bone parallel, but that may not be where you are today, and that's perfectly fine. We just want, if your knee is up here, that's fine. Just gently rest your hand there. Gently rest your hand, a little gentle rocking from side to side to release tension in the hips and glutes. Excellent. How are our friends doing with their ankles crossed? Doing okay? If you need to uncross and come back to center, that's perfectly fine. Place both of those feet on the floor. Let's inhale deeply for those of us with our ankle on our knee. Place the elbow on the inside of the knee. Gently press it away. Not hard, just a little weight. And then rotate the torso to face the opposite side, or to face the side of the room. Beautiful. Getting those spinal twists in are very important to promote flexibility in the spine. Let's inhale, come back to center. We're going to place that foot on the floor. Good job. Now, for those of us who sat cross-ankled, switch the ankle that was in front. So if you were this way last time, bring it together and switch. Okay? All right. For everyone else, you may place your left ankle on your right knee We always have one side that's a little more cooperative than the other, and that's perfectly fine. That just simply means you're stronger on one side than the other, and the muscles have shortened and tightened. So we're teaching them to relax just a little bit. This may feel differently for you on this side. Just remember, you should only feel a gentle stretch, no pain. A little gentle rocking from side to side. Focus on the breath. Inhale deeply, place the elbow on the inside of the knee, rotate the torso, gently press the knee away. Again, no pain. Never force a stretch. Beautiful. Let's inhale, come back to center. Good job. All right. Let's go ahead and grab a quick sip of water. Very important to stay hydrated. All right. So from here, we are going to step out to the side. We're going to pick up our heavier weights if we're using weights today. Remember, you don't have to use them. Work up to it gradually. All right. So from here, we're going to hold those weights down to the side. And we want to make sure that our feet are firmly planted on the floor, that the whole foot is pressing into the floor. The toes are down, the heels are down, and we're going to hinge forward at the hips. Pressing our weight into our feet, we're going to come up out of our chair. Excellent. So we'll come beside the chair. All right. We're going to take a nice deep inhale, and we're going to work on calf raises standing next to the chair. And it is certainly okay if you need to hold on the chair for support. Nice deep inhale. Let's come on up to the tiptoes and gently lower down. Inhale up and gently lower down. Inhale up and gently lower down. Inhale up and gently lower down. Excellent. Nice deep inhale. We're going to allow the weight closest to the chair to pull us down. Lean over in that direction. And with the exhale, come back to center. And then lean in the opposite direction. Allow that weight to pull you down. Feel a nice stretch along the side waist, waking up the obliques. And bring it back to center. And lean in the opposite direction. Good job. Inhale back to center. Leaning in the other direction. Good job. Exhale. Bring it back to center. Good work. All right. So at this point, I'm going to set the weights on the chair. And I'm going to place my hand on the back of the chair. The leg that's closest to the chair, we're going to place the foot on the chair. The opposite foot is pointed forward. Stand up tall, focus on the breath, tuck the tailbone under just a little bit. Beautiful. Place the hand on the inside of the knee, gently pressing that knee towards the back of the chair. You should feel some stretching in the hip flexors and maybe through the inner thigh. If you have shoulder pain or shoulder issues, keep that hand on your hip. If you do not, you may inhale up, rotate the torso, looking at the hand. Now that hand should not be any higher than the eyes. You're looking at it as though you're reading a book. Focus on your breath. Beautiful. Bring that arm down to the side. Place the hand on the back of the chair. Bring the foot to the floor. Good work. That was a modified version of tree pose. We are working on our balance here. So now we're going to progress on to another variation of tree pose. What we're going to do here is lift the heel of the foot farthest away from the chair. And we may keep one hand on the chair to help steady us. Feel the stabilizers waking up in that foot that's rooted into the floor. The toes should be pressing into the bottom of your shoe. Your heel should be pressing in the bottom of your shoe. And we want to make sure that we have shoulders over hips, hips over knees, and the toes pointed forward. From here, rotate that knee out to the side, open up the hip. Draw the shoulders down and back. Focus on the breath. Beautiful. And if you're feeling ready, and if you need to stay right here, that's fine. But if you're feeling ready, lift that foot off the floor, resting it against the calf. Now the foot should be either above the knee or below the knee, but never on the knee. It puts too much pressure on the knee. Beautiful. I know this is tricky. Balance is tough, but super important. If it is in your practice, you may bring one hand to heart center. Maybe this is good enough for you today. Maybe this is exactly where you need to be. And it's okay if that is the case. Be patient with yourselves. It's about the journey. And if it is in your practice, bring the other hand to heart center. If you need to bring your toes to the floor because you're feeling unsteady, that's fine. Or maybe you need to keep your hand on the chair. That is also fine. Excellent. Feel the stabilizers in that down foot waking up. You can feel them kind of wobbling back and forth. That's okay, they're doing their job. And then reaching up with one hand if that is in your practice. And then maybe the other. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Excellent job. Tighten up the tummy muscles. Beautiful. Bring the arms down to the sides. Rest that foot on the floor. Excellent work. All right. So at this point, we're going to come over to the other side of the chair because we have to work both sides of the body. All right. So from here, we're going to go ahead and pick up our weights, and we'll start with those calf raises again. Nice deep inhale up on the tiptoes and gently lower down. Inhale up and gently lower down. Inhale up, gently lower down. Inhale up and gently lower down. One more time. Inhale up, hold it, and gently lower down. Good work. Nice deep inhale. And we're going to lean away from the chair. Exhale to center. So we're going to lean towards the chair. Allow that weight to pull you down. Exhale to center. Let's lean away from the chair. Exhale to center. Lean towards the chair. And exhale to center. Beautiful. All right. Now to work on the very beginner level of tree pose. All right. So placing that hand against the back of the chair. Maybe you're having difficulty getting your foot up on the chair. If that is the case, and you happen to have a chair that has little spindles on the bottom, feel free to place your foot on one of those spindles. We're not really putting weight on that foot, but it's a beginning, all right? For those of us that can get our foot up to the chair, let's go ahead and place the hand on the inside of that knee, pressing that knee towards the back of the chair, standing up tall. The toes of the down foot are pointed forward, firmly rooting that foot into the floor. Excellent. If you have any type of shoulder pain, you may keep your hand on your hip. Otherwise, you may inhale up, rotate the torso, looking to the hand. The hand is not any higher than the eyes. We're looking as though we have a book in our hand and we're trying to read it. Beautiful. Bring the hand down, turn forward, place the hand on the back of the chair, bring that foot to the floor. Excellent. Onward to the next variation of tree pose. So we've got our hand resting on the back of the chair, lifting the heel of the foot that is farthest away from the chair. Draw the shoulders back and down. We're checking in with our posture, making sure that our shoulders are over our hips, the hips are over the knees, and the toes are pointed forward. It's a kinetic chain that starts with the foot. We need to make sure that everything is in proper alignment. Excellent. We're going to rotate that knee out to the side, resting the heel just above the ankle. Maybe this is where you need to be today. That's perfectly fine. Well, one thing we need to check in with is sometimes when we do that, rotating the knee out to the side, our hip shifts. Let's bring that hip back underneath the shoulders. Excellent. If you're feeling ready, and it is in your practice, go ahead and lift that foot off the floor, resting it against the calf. You look great out there. I hope you're feeling great. Excellent. If it is in your practice, you may bring one hand to heart center. And if it is in your practice, you may bring the other hand to heart center. Again, if you need to keep one hand on the chair, that's fine. You will find that tree pose is different every day. And then you may bring one arm out to the side and the other. By bringing the arms out wide, it helps provide a little more balance, which is super helpful when we're learning. Beautiful. Bring the hands together, foot to the floor. Excellent job. All right, at this point, we are going to come behind our chair. And remember, if you have your shoes off and prefer to practice with shoes off, you should probably have a yoga mat. And if you have your yoga mat, you may want to bring it behind the chair at this point. I'm going to set the weights off to the side because we don't need to be tripping over anything. And I'm going to gently move the water out of the way as well. So I'm going to move my mat behind the chair. Actually, I'm going to show you this way. So, we're going to practice a modified version of downward facing dog. We've got our hands on the back of the chair. We're going to walk our feet back, hinging at the hips. Trying to keep that back nice and flat. The knees are slightly bent, and the ears are resting between the biceps. Focus on the breath. And try not to let the head just fall forward. That causes the shoulders to round. We want to keep the ears between the biceps. These are your biceps. Feel that stretch all along the back of the body, through the feet, through the back of the legs, through the lower back. Take a nice deep breath here. Expand that belly as far as it can go. And exhale, release. Beautiful. Feel the stretch through the shoulders, through the arms, through the hands. Excellent. And then we're going to begin to take a giant step out to one side and a giant step out to the other. Have a wide straddled stance. Focus on the breath. Coming a little bit deeper into that stretch. You may feel a stretch up through the hamstrings, along the back of the legs. I'm going to change the dynamics of this stretch up a little bit by turning the toes in so they're pointed towards the chair while kicking the heels out. Nice flat back. Press through with the chest. Excellent. Let's begin to toe the feet towards one another, stepping them together when we can. Then we're going to walk the feet forward until we're in an upright position, pausing where chin meets chest. Then we're going to inhale, circle, sweep the arms overhead. And exhale the arms down to the sides. One more time. Inhale up. And exhale down. Good job. All right. So at this point, I am moving my chair in front. Actually, I'm going to turn things at a diagonal so you might be able to see me a little bit better in the chair. It isn't blocking me entirely. All right. So we find ourselves behind our chair, and we're going to work on a little bit of a warrior sequence. So we're going to place our hand on the back of the chair, and we are going to take a giant step towards the wall with the opposite foot. So we've got the hand closest to the chair on the back of the chair, and the opposite foot is in front of us. Now that back foot is at a 45-degree angle, which basically means a diagonal, okay? So at this point, we're just trying to figure out where center is, okay? We've got the chair here for support, and our weight should be evenly distributed between the front foot and the back foot, all right? And then from here, we're gonna bend that front knee, okay? We want to make sure we've got a 90-degree bend in that knee and a straight line from the knee to the ankle. Remember, the back foot is at a diagonal, not pointed straight out to the side, but at a diagonal. Okay? Excellent. Keep that bend in the front knee. We're going to rotate the torso forward to line up with that front knee. Focus on the breath. And I want you to take a look down at the knee. Make sure you can see your toes. If you cannot see your toes, it means you're lunging too far forward. See how we now have a diagonal line from the knee to the ankle? We want to come back just a little bit and sink down in the middle. When we're lunging forward like that, we're putting too much pressure on the knee. All right, rotate the torso, line up with that front leg. Inhale up, warrior one. If you need to keep your hand on the chair, that's perfectly fine. If you can release, go ahead. Inhale up, warrior one. Now keep your feet right where they are. Keep that bend in the knee. And just simply rotate the torso to face the front of the room for warrior two. Tuck the tailbone under. Focus on your breath. Gaze out over the fingers in front of you and over the shoulder behind you. Come forward, turn the front palm up, and we're going to reach up and over, resting the hand on the leg behind us for peaceful warrior. You can look up at the hand above you or at the crease in the elbow. Depends on what your body says you need to do today. Beautiful. Let's inhale, come forward. We're going to rest the elbow on that front knee. Now this hand can remain on the chair. We want to sink those hips down. Did you see how I transitioned there? They tend to creep up on you. Be patient with yourselves. It's perfectly fine. You can reach up with that top hand for a modified version of triangle pose or trikonasana. Let's take that top arm at a diagonal side angle stretch. Inhale the arm back over the shoulder. Let's straighten the front leg. Rest that bottom hand on the shin or wherever the hand comfortably falls. For a full version of trikonasana. Beautiful. Let's bend that front leg. Come back to center. Place the hand on the back of the chair. At this point, we are simply going to pivot the feet forward. Reach the arms out wide. Open up the chest. Wiggle the fingers and toes for starfish pose. And then from here, we're going to rotate the feet in the opposite direction. Because again, it's about balance. We don't want one leg stronger than the other. Beautiful. Focus on the breath. And let's bend that front knee. The back foot's at a 45-degree angle or pointed at a diagonal. You can see that my heel is kind of lined up with that corner edge back there, but yet my toes are at a diagonal. My foot is pointed at a diagonal. And then we're going to rotate the torso, lining up with that front knee. Maintain that nice 90-degree bend. Nice straight line from the knee to the ankle. Good job. Excellent. If it is in your practice, go ahead and reach up with the arm farthest away from the chair. Remember, it's your job to honor your body and how you're feeling. Reaching up with the opposite arm. Bring the shoulders back and down. Open up wide if you can. Beautiful. Keep your feet locked where they are. Keep that bend in the knee. And then just simply rotate the torso. Reach out through the fingertips. Beautiful. Gaze over the hand in front of you, making sure the arm is shoulder level. And come back to center. Gaze at the fingers behind you. Beautiful. Turn the front palm up. Return your gaze forward. Reach up and over. Resting the hand on the back of the leg. If you ever feel dizzy when we're transitioning our gaze from one place to the other, please be sure to hold on the chair. Beautiful. Inhale, come forward, rest the elbow on that front knee. Top arm is directly above the shoulder. Sink the hips down low. Your gaze can be at your foot or in front of you. Depends on if you're feeling any tension in your neck today. Take that top arm at a diagonal for side angle stretch. You can look up at the hand above you. Sink the hips down low. Inhale the arm over the shoulders, straighten the front leg, rest the hand on the shin for a modified version of trikonasana. Arm is directly above the shoulder. But if you need to hold on the back of the chair due to dizziness or shoulder pain, that's absolutely fine. Our job is to be gentle. Our body is very good at telling us what it needs. Listen to it. Beautiful. Bring that top hand down. Now we're going to come back up. Let's pivot the feet forward. Bring the arms out wide. Wiggle the fingers and toes for starfish pose. Good job. Bring the arms down to the side. Place your hands on the back of your chair. As you saw, I moved mine to the side so that you could see me a little better. And then we're going to step the feet together. Beautiful. Inhale, circle, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale the arms down to the sides. At this point, we're going to take this chair and we're going to move it to one end of our mat. All right. We're going to stand in front of our chair. Nice deep inhale. With the exhale, we're going to hinge forward and rest the hands lightly on the chair. There's no weight in my hands on the chair. They're just kind of lightly resting there. We're just going to focus on our breath. We're going to walk ourselves back just a little bit more. Inhale deeply, and with the exhale, slide the hands towards the back of the chair. Bend the knees slightly. We don't want them locked out. We don't need to be completely straight-legged. Bending them helps improve the circulation a bit. And then slide the hands back. Beautiful. Give yourselves just a moment here. Focus on the breath. We're going to work on a little bit of cat and cow. So a nice deep inhale. And exhale. Just let it all out. Just let it go. Beautiful. Inhale deeply. And with the exhale, we're going to come up on the tiptoes. We're going to round the shoulders, pull up with the navel. Allow the head to drop. Inhale, feet flat on the floor. Roll the tailbone up. Lift your gaze for cow. Exhale to cat, up to the tiptoes. Inhale to cow, roll the tailbone up, lift the gaze. Exhale to cat. Inhale to cow. And then meet in the center for table pose. Beautiful. Good job. All right, we're going to bring our feet outside of our mat, if we have the mat. And this is one of these poses that is really good if you have your sneakers on. If you choose to work in your socks and you're on a slippery floor, you might need to slip your socks off at this point because you might start sliding around. All right, so our feet are wider than the mat. We're going to take a nice deep inhale. And we're going to, with the exhale, bend the left knee, shifting to the left. Okay, a nice lunge. Straighten the legs, inhale to center. And then we're going to bend the right knee, shifting to the right. Inhale to center. Bend the left knee, shifting to the left. Inhale to center. Bend the right knee, shifting to the right. Inhale to center. Bend the left knee, shifting to the left. Inhale to center. Bend the right knee, shifting to the right. Inhale to center. Good job. Placing the right hand in the center of the chair. Inhale up with the left hand. Rotate the torso. Open the chest. Focus on the breath. Exhale down. Inhale upright. Rotate that torso. exhale down. Inhale up left. Exhale down. Inhale up right. Exhale down. Inhale up left. Exhale down. Inhale up right. And exhale down. Beautiful work. Good job. Let's begin to heel toe, feet towards one another, stepping the feet together when we can. We're going to walk the feet forward until the knees and shins are resting against the seat of the chair. Then we're going to take a giant step back with the left foot. We're going to find ourselves in a low lunge. Focus on the breath. Again, that back foot is at a 45-degree angle. Draw the shoulders down away from your ears. Remember to tell yourself to release and relax, let go. Beautiful. Nice little stretch here. Finding ourselves in a high lunge. Maybe this is where you need to be today. Maybe you want to come down to your forearms, resting the rib on the thigh for low lunge. Beautiful. Walk the hands back up. And we're going to step forward with that foot. And we're going to switch sides. Beautiful. Focus on the breath. Excellent. And then we're going to come down to the forearms, coming to our low lunge. Nice flat back. Sink the hips down. Excellent. And remember to do what you can. Step forward with that back foot. Inhale, roll up, one vertebrae at a time. Circle, sweep the arms overhead. And exhale the arms down to the sides. Excellent job. Very proud of all of you for showing up for class today. Thank you so much for joining me. At this point, we are going to set up and prepare for final relaxation. And in today's practice, we will be doing our final relaxation in our chair. This is a really good time for some of that inspirational yoga music. It kind of helps relax us a little bit more. Due to copyright issues, we're not going to be using music today on this video, so feel free to keep your music playing at home. All right, so at this point, we're going to start out with some very gentle stretches to relax us. Again, let's move forward on our chair a little bit. And before we get too far, let's grab a sip of water. And we're going to come to center. Beautiful. Let's take a nice deep inhale. Circle, sweep the arms overhead. And exhale the arms down to the sides. Inhale up. And exhale down. Beautiful work. Let's go ahead and slide back on our chair. And allow the arms to hang down to the sides. Inhale the arms up, chest level. Roll the hands up and allow the hands to float down like feathers. Let's try again. Inhale up. Imagine that there's weights on your fingers, making them very heavy. Allowing them to rise up slowly. Roll at the top and gently float back down. Inhale up and gently float down. Let's go ahead and close our eyes. Sitting back in our chair, allowing the chair to support us. Gently wiggle the fingers and toes, letting go of those last bits of energy. And then relaxing the toes, feet, ankles, shins, calves, knees, quads, hamstrings, glutes, and hips. Inhale deeply and exhale, giving thanks to our body for bringing us to practice today. Relaxing the low back, the abdomen, ribs, chest, lats, trapezius, rhomboid, inhale deeply and exhale, giving thanks to our body for supporting us during our practice today. Relaxing the fingers, hands, wrists, forearms, elbows, biceps, triceps, and shoulders. Inhale deeply and exhale, giving thanks to the body for embracing our practice today. Relaxing the neck and throat. Gently turn the head to the left. Inhale back to center. Gently turn the head to the right. Inhale back to center. Relax the jaw, allowing the tongue to rest comfortably in the bottom of your mouth. Relax the cheeks, eyes, brow, forehead, and crown. Inhale deeply and exhale, giving thanks to the mind and body for being present in this moment during our practice today. Let's take a nice deep inhale. Expand the belly as far as it can go. And exhale, release. Today, we imagine ourselves walking through a forest. The trees are tall looming above us so gracefully. We smell the pine needles on the ground beneath our feet. We hear the birds singing in the trees. Chickadees, blue jays calling to one another. The air is comfortable and warm. And we see the sky is blue through the branches. The leaves are just beginning to come out on the trees. They aren't that dark, dark green, but more of a yellowish green. The wind blows, and you hear the branches creak, and you watch the trees sway. As you continue along through the forest, you come across a patch of yellow adder tongues greeting you cheerfully. In the distance, you hear leaves rustling, and you look up only to see a chipmunk scurrying on top of a log, his little cheeks puffed out full of seeds. And he stomps his little feet and chirps at you, sending an alarm to all other chipmunks nearby, letting them know that there's an intruder here. It makes you smile. And you continue on. Further along the path, you find clumps of violets, white violets and purple violets. Ferns are beginning to poke up through the ground. And with no leaves or few leaves on the trees at this point, you can see the different variety of birds that are living in this forest. A red cardinal streaks across the canopy in front of you. As they all busily prepare making their nests for the season. You inhale deeply, taking in the spring fragrances of the forest. And you exhale, release, feeling so free and comfortable, finally able to take a deep breath of fresh spring air. And exhaling, releasing. And as you walk through the forest, these words come to mind. Do you ever feel like life is spinning out of control? That the harder you try to get ahead, the more you just barely get by? If so, maybe it's time for you to think about quitting life. Quitting, that's a harsh word. The elusive thing that we chase after and strive for, and instead start living. It can be a difficult distinction to understand, I know, but making the distinction can make all the difference in the world. So here are some thoughts on ways to truly live. Recognize that life is what you get when you're born. Living is what you do with it. You can sit back and wait for life to happen to you, or you can make it happen yourself. Define life. It leads to the fine life. Life is not a slogan, no matter what any of those big corporations or other media giants might have you believe. While those life is t-shirts often are witty, the philosophy they propose, like the shirt itself, are rarely one size fits all. Define life and living on your own terms, and you've got a better chance of getting both. Make up your own rules. Many people believe that life is a game. Maybe so, but most games have rules and clear-cut definitions. We didn't get rule books when we were born, and that leaves us free to make up our own rules about life, living, losing, and winning. Take charge of your life. Once you've made up your rules, you can start taking charge of your life. And when you take charge of your life, as Jeffrey Abbott said, there is no longer need to ask permission of other people or society at large. When you ask permission, you give someone veto power over your life. Take charge of your life. Little things mean a lot. No matter how we live, life throws a lot of negative things in our way that must be dealt with, or else they will greatly diminish how we enjoy our days. Stephen Vincent Bennett said it best, life is not lost by dying. Life is lost minute by minute, day by dragging day, in all the thousand small, uncaring ways. Take time to be kind to yourself, to love yourself. Do something kind and loving for yourself today. Something small. Sit outside with a warm beverage. Go for a walk in the forest. Read a book. Cook your favorite meal. Or treat yourself to your favorite meal. It can even just be a snack. Do something positive for yourself today. Take a nice deep inhale. Let's begin to gently wiggle the fingers and toes, bringing our awareness back to this room. Gently flutter the eyes open, sitting up tall. Notice how you're feeling. Inhale deeply, circle sweep the arms overhead. Draw hands to heart center. Gently bowing. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today for class. I look forward to our next class. Have a beautiful day.